going on, everyone? It's me again, and we're back with another video of Should Your Kids Play? You like how I did that? You like how I changed the name? Makes a little more sense now? Alright, well, let's dive straight in like we usually do. This week, we're talking about personal favorite of mine, Monster Hunter Stories. Monster Hunter Stories is a role-playing video game developed by Capcom and Marvelous. It's actually a spin-off of the actual Monster Hunter series. The game was originally released for 3DS out in Japan and was ported over to America and is now available on both Android and iOS devices. Rather than taking on the role of a monster hunter like in the original series, players take on the role of monster riders, who are those who live side by side with the monsters of the Monster Hunter universe. These riders seek to live peacefully with the monsters, which is why they do not normally wander out of their village, which is the game's starter town, but because something called the Black Blight is plaguing monsters and causing them to become more aggressive towards humans, you, as the newest riders, are given permission to set out into the world to discover the source of this blight and put an end to it. Now, how kid appropriate is this content, and what should we know? Fair warning here, the game does have a battle system, as you and the monsters you befriend have to battle hostile monsters throughout the game. With that being said, there is no blood or explicit violence, so I would rate the fighting as pretty mild. Also, you heard that right, you befriend monsters throughout the entire game. You do this by entering monster dens, or rather dungeons, and searching for monster eggs to hatch. Once you obtain an egg, or several eggs, depends on what you're doing, and if you keep going into monster dens and collecting different eggs, you can visit a town and visit the small little hatchery, kitten, cat, the little companions that are around in the Monster Hunter universe, and they hatch the eggs for you. Collecting new monsters is important for the game because each monster provides you with new open world skills such as breaking boulders, slash rocks, leaping over ledges, etc. Much like the main Monster Hunter franchise, there is a gathering system where you can collect herbs, bugs, ore, and monster materials. This is for crafting items and also crafting new gear such as armor and weapons. The battle system is pretty advanced for this game. Your character and only one monster can be actively engaged in battle against enemies. Battling smart and learning how opponents attack allows you to use the opposite skill of your opponent, such as speed over power attacks will allow you and your monster to gain the upper hand in battle. Once your kinship level in the battle is up, you can hop onto your monster and perform joint attacks and even a special attack. The only unfortunate thing here is that you can only control your main character. Your monster is independent from you and will choose attacks on their own. So, is there a social component to this game? There is a slight social component. At a certain point, you do unlock the ability to battle local players, which mainly are friends who have the game, and you can also have the choice of battling online players. There's also a QR scanner in the game, but that really is only for collecting new items that Capcom has released as kind of like a boost in terms of items in the game for players to have. So, how much is this going to cost us? So, the game doesn't have any DLC, and usually Monster Hunter DLC is free, so depending on if your kid has a Nintendo 3DS, or if you're purchasing it for an Android device or an iOS device, the prices are going to be a little bit different. So for the Nintendo 3DS, the price is going to be $25, and for iOS and Android devices, it's going to be $20. Now, finally, what's the rating? What's my approval? I'd definitely say this game is for kids 10 and up. The battling system, I'm just going to jump right back to that, is pretty advanced, and there's a lot of things you need to learn. There's also a lot of reading in the game. There's a lot of lore to focus on. There's just a lot of things here that I feel like younger kids really wouldn't focus on, but maybe they would find the game entertaining. And if that's the case, I'd totally say feel free I was originally going to rate this 6 and up, but because of how in-depth the game is and how much it's required that you focus on all the things that are going on and also focus on the battling system, I would say that it's 10 and up only. And there we go. That's Monster Hunter Stories. Don't forget, if you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, give me a like, make a comment, let me know what game you want to see next. If you're watching this on Instagram, don't forget to throw me a like, also comment, hit that follow button, let me know what games you want to see coming up next. Again, this has been Chris Hernandez, and we'll see you again next week.